I mentioned that some of our sponsors are here, and I'd like to introduce Brody Stapel to come up and make a few comments. He's a dairy farmer from Cedar Grove, Wisconsin. He's farms there with his brother and his father, and he was recently elected to lead the board of directors for Edge Dairy Farmer Cooperative. So please help me welcome Brody.
Good afternoon. I guess I was invited up to maybe bring some perspective to what we've heard through this morning. As Sir said, I'm a dairy producer over in eastern Wisconsin, and here we're here on behalf of Edge Dairy Farmer Cooperative, relatively new to the scene. But very excited to be here to represent our members back at home and bring the voice of milk to Washington. Personally, as a producer, a relatively small producer in Wisconsin, I've been pretty encouraged this morning hearing Ted McKinney. Sort of a farm cheerleader, really. I mean, a positive outlook on where we can be, especially as a dairy farmer, and what's going on, especially out east in Ohio. But it's good to know that we have friends at USDA, USTR, people that are on our side and pushing for us. In the panels this morning, we heard some differing opinions, but I think that the things that we can pull out of there is there's a common theme, right? We all need to sort of work together and pull this boat forward, and we need to ultimately do what the American farmer wants, and that is to open the gates and let us produce a safe and healthy product, whether that's dairy, beef, pork, poultry, and et cetera. So once again, thank you for Agri-Pulse for having us. But just want to give you a little bit of background on Edge, who we are, where we came from. So as Sarah mentioned, I am the newly elected board president for Edge Dairy Farmer Cooperative. We are based in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We provide dairy farmers in Midwestern states with a voice, as I mentioned, the voice of milk now in Congress, with our customers, and in our communities. Founded in 2010, Edge has been a game changer for dairy farmers. Under the federal milk marketing orders, we provide milk testing, verification services, and marketing information to our members. But we also provide added value, giving every farmer a strong voice through federal policy representation. In just 8 years, we're one of the top dairy cooperatives in the country based on volume of milk representative. Number 6 in Horde's Dairyman list on 2016. So our dairy farmers came to us and asked for a stronger voice for the dairy community on issues and policies that affect them at home on the farm. And we are an energetic, progressive organization representing all of our members equally, recognizing both the differences and similarities on the farm, regardless of size, business goals, geography, and ownership. So now more than ever, our dairy farmers need to be heard. Their voice needs to be heard here in DC as well. And Edge is here to deliver that message to the message of all of our members and when it matters, which is now. We have and will continue to challenge the status quo and do what is needed to represent the changing needs of our members. Our top federal policy priorities include the creation of a workable visa for year-round egg employees, promotion of trade, as we've been very encouraged here this morning, and the expansion of markets for dairy farmers, obviously, and streamlining regulations to allow innovation and growth. We've heard a lot about that as well this morning, so it's good to know that we have synergy in the room here. During the past 2 years, Edge has strengthened its engagement here in DC through the hiring of a veteran Capitol Hill lobbyist to supplement our own government affairs team, and also through partnerships with strategic national groups. We are also a founding partner of the Dairy Strong Sustainability Alliance, which is a collaborative group across the dairy supply chain focused on measurable continuous improvement in areas such as energy use, animal care, environmental practices, and so forth. Edge is a promise to our members other farmers, and the dairy community as a whole to deliver on a commitment of progressive leadership. We empower our members and represent their voices. We have always and will continue to challenge the status quo and do what is needed to represent the changing needs of our members. So with that, I'd invite you to stop by our table in the exhibit area to learn how we are representing the voice of our members, and we are the voice of milk. And once again, thank you to Agri-Pulse for hosting this great event and for all the speakers and the attendees.